up, Rodney?
Hey, how you doing, Trae?
Hey, I'm great, and I'm so glad that you were able to make some time in your schedule to be with me today. You're doing something that's super dope, but also this marks the 50th year of hip hop, and we know that there's a lot going on. People are really trying to push the needle forward when it comes to all of this amazing legacy that hip hop carries. Tell us about why you started Kingspin LLC.
Yes, I started Kingspin LLC October of 2020. Just basically out of my love for the black culture, period. Just being raised, in the Central. Grew up like on 29th and Dearborn. You got pushed out due to gentrification back like in mid 90s. And just coming back like to my roots and everything, and just focusing like on everything that is influential, dealing with the black culture. Whether it's sports, hip hop, jazz, just anything that I can chronicle of our culture, on canvas is basically why I started Kingspin LLC.
Yeah, so you're really blending art and music in ways that is so necessary because, I hear this often when it comes to visual art, that it is a representation of the times. Right. Tell us more about some of the things that are really inspiring some of the pieces you're creating.
Yes, most definitely. I watch a lot of documentaries, read a lot of books, and, just watching a lot of old school videos and just reliving like childhood memories and all that stuff is in my mind at all times, and I'm waking up with ideas of thinking about Michael Jordan from like the 80s, and I think about Slick Rick, and I think about Thelonious Monk, and I think about Miles Davis, and all this stuff just blends in my thoughts, and it just wakes me up early in the morning, like 3, and it just forces me to hit like a canvas and whatnot. And that's just, like my process on a daily basis is just my love for the culture is what bleeds on the canvas and what leads to, something being hung up, in your house, on your walls and everything. I get to share my love with the masses.
Well, one of the things that I really appreciate about what you do is that it also moves things forward, right? When you're bringing in these historical figures that maybe some folks don't know about, it encourages them to go check them out, go read up on the history. Yes. And that's something that I think is so it's valuable in terms of what you bring because, I love that my sons listen to some of the old school music, but we got a lot of young folks who are like, who are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. But really being able to see it in art form is another kind of key point that they can cling to and learn from. How have folks been able to receive some of the work that you've been putting out there?
Most def, and I appreciate that because, like I always tell people, my art is meant to be educational at the same time as well as visual, and people respond that because it literally gives them a nostalgic type feeling. It's like a Nas song, "Can't Forget About Us." He did this song with Chrisette Michelle, where basically he chronicles, his whole life, just like the mural that we have behind us, and he's going through like a Rat Pack type vibe, with Sammy Davis Jr. and Frank Sinatra and everything, and they're just basically reliving everything that he did. That's what I pretty much try to convey through my art is like chronicling like. I get fascinated with 1988 because it's like the birth of hip hop in my, mind, even though it started like in 73. 88, there's so much cultural significant things that happen in 88. You think about Spike Lee, you think about Mike Tyson being the heavyweight champion of the world, you think about Michael Jordan winning the slam dunk championship. A lot of stuff happened in 88. Slick Rick, Run DMC, LL Cool J, Big Daddy Kane, Kumo D. A lot of this stuff you will hear in today's music. You hear a lot of stuff that's stolen, just like they stole from like James Brown and everything, ties back to like community going back, over decades. All this stuff is repeated over time. Like they say, there's nothing new under the sun. Everything you see has already been done. That stuff's been written in the Bible. You hear it through lyrics. People hear it for the first time, and they just realize that it's the same thing. It's our culture being, regurgitated, redone, and, re-shown to the community. And that's what people, have grown to love about like my art and everything because it's always going to tie to black. Anytime I get interviewed with anything concerning my art, it's always going to come back to us. 100% black, period. That's what my focus is.
I appreciate that, Rodney, because I
Most
think we need more of that. You know, we're dealing in a world where we still have yet to receive reparations. I mean, they
Yes.
were talking about it so much yesterday at Juneteenth, and the messages are resonating with me because the idea that if we stop talking about it, it's
Right.
not going to move forward, bro.
At all.
And so we need it in a multitude of ways. We need it in our art. We need it in education. We need it in schools. We need it in music. We need folks to be sharing the message in a multitude of ways. And so I appreciate that intentionality in your approach to your art. And when you think back, you know, first time you know, started doing something with the canvas, tell us about that moment for you, because clearly you started something that is resonating through to this day with your work.
Yes. Initially, you know, I'm like an artist that can just draw, and I do a lot of stuff with color pencil. But you know, it takes too long to actually draw. You know, it takes its toll on my hand and everything. So when I was doing like pieces that, you know, I had sold, my wife was like, "Have you ever thought about painting?" And I was like, you know, I never really have painted, but it's got to be just like drawing, you know, and I find it to be, you know, a whole lot faster and everything. So I started, you know, painting and posting stuff like on Instagram, and people were like, "Hey, I want to buy that," and I was like, okay, you know. And then so I got an opportunity in Tacoma where I have somebody, you know, Marquita, she owns Intentions Juice Bar. She's going to be moving to Seattle real soon too, open up her second spot, so check her out as well. She gave me an opportunity to hang my art in her spot on South Tacoma Way. And once I put my art there, you know, for the first time, I had probably like about 20 pieces there, and I've sold probably like about 6 of them. We had an art show, and then that showed me that, you know, I could actually sell to the masses, and I started doing pop-ups. I got back into my roots, like in the Central, you know, been doing Juneteenth and Black Wall Street. Had like my most successful days out here. I currently have my work at Simply Soulful on 23rd and Jackson, Art Noir, Gallery Onyx, Burb's Burger downtown, Belltown. I got a lot of different spots and everything, and it all started because of, you know, Marquita and, you know, a black woman. And so everything black always starts black, gonna end black. Love being black.
Well, you know, Rodney, I love this because success stories like yours, for me, is the reason why I spend so much of my energy organizing events where we can showcase folks like yourself.
Yes.
I think it's so important because I'm always talking about how I won't know about something if I'm not exposed to it.
Right.
And so what we've started to really see with these black marketplaces popping up all over the state, mind you, now it's like a thing. People know, like, oh, wait, we can just do it ourselves. It's like, yeah, we
Yes.
could do it ourselves. And it also encourages those who may have ideas for a business to leap out on faith and know community is here to support. We're here to catch you. We're here to be a patron, buy your works, buy your supplies, your products, your services, whatever it is. We're here to really, you know, ensure that our businesses are thriving. And when I think about all of the things that are wrong in the world right now, knowing that we have folks like yourself who have been able to really do what you love
Right.
and be received the way that you just described, it warms my heart.
Amen.
I mean, it's beyond inspiring for me because it lets me know, no, we're on to something here. We got to continue to press because the days get long, you know what I
Yes.
mean? Like it gets tiring,
Yes,
but
it does.
at the end of the day, we know that we have to be the solution and we can't be looking forward outside of ourselves. So I love that you are talking about the specificity of black institutions, black businesses, brick and mortar businesses supporting what you're doing. And shout out to all of them.
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of us having spaces for us, by us,
Yes.
in a way that is now really becoming the norm. I want to hear from you about some of that because you know, as you're in one place, now you're talking about you're in all these other spaces.
Right.
It's obviously proliferated because not only is your work good, but there's a real urgency to support each other in black community that I'm experiencing. It feels like it's a renaissance, bro.
Yes, and exactly, and that's definitely what I do with like all my artist friends that I had met, throughout the course of the last 3 years and whatnot. I say, we're going to basically do like a commission, like Biggie said on his "Ready to Die" album. He said, the commission, Uncle Polly, P Diddy, and I had that same vision with Troy Miles. I had the same vision with Vincent Kill. I had the same vision with Myron Curry. That we're constantly building together. I have like this King's Pen '88 art show that we're coming out with on July 15th in Midtown Square. I was able to get some support from Africatown, from the City of Seattle Arts and Culture Department, and Art Noir. Working with Jasmine Scott. She's letting me get the spot in Midtown Square, and so we're gonna have it on July 15th. We're gonna have up to 20 biopic artists. I got so many of them. I have Janara Swanson, Troy Miles. We have Myron Curry, Charles Connor, myself, and a slew of others. And we're going to have like a marketplace where it's simply going to be artists. And we're going to have a pudding and paint for the kids. 100, the first 100 kids, you register on Eventbrite, you get a free T-shirt commemorating the event, your free canvas, and we're working with Dom's Southern Banana Pudding. He's going to be giving out free banana pudding, with these kids as well. And so we're going to have a day of it. And then we have the night before, I have an ode to hip hop show in Belltown. So it just shows like where we can get our space. I'm trying to introduce black folks to like the arts, like Tiger Woods did for golf, and let them know this is our space. We the best at everything that we do. We the best at anything that can be done. So let's show that let's show the supports for the arts like we did when we was going to the NBA games and everything. Because this older hip hop show is gonna be nice. We're gonna have lowriders. We're gonna have we're in talks to having like a major group that's gonna be there. It's gonna be July 8th, July 14th, which is like their art walk. A lot of built-in, art consumers gonna come there, but a lot of them aren't black. And I'm telling you, come support. You guys love our art anyway. It's gonna be a largely African-American event. Come out in Belltown and show them that we can represent.
I want to say thank you because it takes people like you to see the vision and then execute it.
Yes.
We talk a lot,
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean black folks. I just mean people in
Yes.
general. We may talk a lot, but then we go home and we want to sit down,
Yep.
right? We want to just Netflix and chill or whatever. Or I don't know if that's the right term, but in my mind, it's literal, right? But we
Yes.
just want to chill. We just want to, do our thing. And I love that you're saying, nah, man, we are out here in the artist community. We want to make sure we're putting it out there in a way that lets people know how prominent we are in this art form.
Yep.
Because I think you're so right. There's so many amazing artists. And now I'm starting to, I feel it because we're not only, in spaces like Onyx Gallery, Art Noir, and so many other amazing, Wow Gallery,
Yes.
Look at Hiawatha's pieces. I mean, we're not only in major spaces like that, but now we have community development projects, buildings
Yes.
like what they're doing with Africatown Plaza, what they did with Liberty Bank Building. We're
Yes.
seeing, the intentionality of developers
Yes.
reaching out to the artist community to put up artworks on the buildings, inside the buildings, murals, right?
Exactly.
I mean, look at Vivid Matter Collective and what they were able to do with the Black Lives Matter mural. And so many of those artists have been able to do art shows and other murals. And so I'm loving that. It's like I'm experiencing an embracing of what we've needed for such a long time. So there's so much greatness there. It's like a nugget of gold that we're really like going back through and like mining, and we're like, oh, this was there the whole time, right?
Always.
And so I appreciate that connection between, all right, look, there's plenty of folks that are going to do the art walk. Come and support the black artists.
I'm telling you.
Come out. This is phenomenal, Rodney,
Yes.
that you're doing this amazing event and that you've been able to connect with so many supporters
Yes.
of your artistry and your work, but you're also opening the doors for other artists.
Yes.
So I want you to look right there in that camera. If folks are needing to know,
Yes.
how do they come to the event? How do they support you? You got several things. Let them know
Yes.
right there how they connect.
Please got a lot of opportunities for these artists, a lot of opportunity for the community to come out to actually, enjoy these fun events. And they're free. Okay, so definitely check me out at _Kingspen. So that's _KINGSPEN. Okay, on my Instagram. Once you go in there, I have my link tree. It's connected to all the interviews I may have done and to any, like my websites and all that, that you can actually, it's like a one-stop shop. But check us out there because I'm telling you, we having some big stuff coming on. The Kingspin 88 Art Show, July 15th. Look us up on Eventbrite. Register your kids today. Come out and support all these amazing artists. You're going to meet them in person. These guys are famous. You're talking about Troy Miles. He got murals all through the city. You have Myron Curry, murals all through the city. You've seen his work. You get to actually meet him in person. Same thing with Vincent Kidd. There's so many artists that are just black and are from this area that we have these events that nobody shows up for, that we publish and everything, and we're sitting there talking in downtown. We got great opportunities. We got great spots. We just need the support. You guys show the support like online. Come show it in person because I'm telling you, there is some great talent here. Great, exceptional talent.
Rodney, well, thank you so much for bringing the talent together in a way that allows us as community to not only support, but to also learn, engage with, connect with, right? I mean, it's about following the artist's work as well. Mm-hmm. Like, if I buy one piece from you, who's to say I'm not going to buy another? I mean, it's building relationship. Yes. So thank you so much for putting this together and for bringing, your brilliance to the day with Trae. I just appreciate you for coming on today.
And I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Absolutely.